Hi, my name's Marissa Farnell, and this is my teacher interview video for EDM 310 at the University of South Alabama. And this is Miss Laniese Howard. How about you tell us where you teach and what you teach?
Okay. Again, my name is Laniese Howard. I've been teaching for 21 years. I spent a lot of my career in elementary school or 6th, 7th, and 8th grade middle school. I currently teach gifted education to 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders at 2 schools in Mobile County. And I'm also the assistant director for engaging youth through engineering camps and clubs for Mobile County Public Schools.
Okay, so in your gifted classrooms, I'm sure you use a lot of project-based learning. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do along those lines?
Okay, great. Project-based learning is the idea of taking subject matter that the students would study anyway or would study in the course of a semester and putting it together in a way that there is a culminating project. It's really like planning backwards because you think about the end product first and then you want to think about how you're going to get the kids there. So in gifted education, it really gives us a great chance to have all of the students explore the different areas of giftedness, and they get to make a lot of choices, which again helps them explore different areas of research. It also challenges them quite a bit, so we can incorporate our geography, our math, our science, literature, even foreign languages into that project, and that project can last for an entire quarter or semester with again that culminating project that they would present to the class.
For the project-based learnings that last a quarter, can you give us some examples of what you do and then give us an example of the ones that last for a whole semester?
Sure. One of the ones we did this past year was about Egypt. We did a whole entire study on ancient civilizations, so our big focus was on Egypt. One of the projects that they had was that they had to take one of the ancient gods and they created a PowerPoint project. They also had to make a sarcophagus out of paper mache after doing some research about the burial habits of the Egyptian gods and kings and queens and how it was so much different than if you were just one of those regular people that lived in Egypt. They also got to research some of the areas of the geography, how the Nile River played a part in their economy and how they lived. So again, it was just a whole project, not just about what those Egyptian gods would be doing, but about all of Egypt and how Egypt played a part in the world and how the different pieces played a part in Egypt.
Okay, so so that one lasted a quarter?
That one lasted for 6 weeks, and then the last 2 weeks, the way our quarters work, there's usually a holiday, somehow, some way.
Right,
so
yeah.
we try to culminate that project within a few weeks of the end, just in case we run into a holiday. But that also gives students time to submit their projects, to present their projects to the class, and also, to listen to each other's, because it's about learning from a lot of project-based learning. It's about learning from each other and then comparing things sometimes as a team. So it's not just a singular project for one child. It often ends up being a team project or a whole group project at some point throughout that process.
And do the students seem to get more out of it when they're doing it in groups?
I think my students like working in groups simply because gifted students find that their gifts are not often the same. Some of them are creatively gifted, some are academically gifted, some are gifted writers. Oftentimes when you put them on a project-based learning project as a team, they get to use those gifts in different ways, sometimes in ways that they didn't think that they even knew that they could use them. But it also helps them learn to use a gift that maybe they didn't know that they had. So it does oftentimes work really well in teams.
Do you assign the teams or do you let them pick?
I do some of both. At the beginning of the year, I try to pair them up because we do something called an interest inventory and multiple intelligences inventory. And so it gives me a chance to see where their strengths and weaknesses are. So those first teams that are paired, I often pair them myself, but with a purpose of knowing who's strong in each area and how they can benefit from each other. So again, project-based learning really helps bring those gifts to the surface and allow them to work together as a team.
So you and I were talking a little bit, and you said that this project-based learning kind of helps you with your STEM program. So can you explain a little bit about the STEM program that you do?
Sure, yeah. The STEM program, and again, being an EYE coordinator, which is engaging youth through engineering, I've had a lot of exposure to the STEM curriculum. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. And right now, one of the other buzzwords is STEAM curriculum, which adds an art art component to that, which the art teachers are now loving because it gives them a chance to get involved in that too. So in the STEM curriculum, you're really taking those same subjects, science, technology, engineering, and math, and you're integrating them all together into some project. For example, right now we're doing a water-based engineering camp. And in that camp, the students are using their science, technology, engineering, and math to discover ways to filter water that's been either dirtied or polluted, contaminated in some way. And so that STEM curriculum is helping them get to the point where they make a very effective and efficient water filter.
Okay.
And in my classroom, it's the same way. Most times there is a project somehow, and now you can find so many things on the internet to supplement your STEM curriculum. And again, those things are wonderful for not only gifted students, but all students, because they're very hands-on, they're very interesting, and they really give them a chance to branch out and search different things they may not have known about.
Okay. And so explain a little bit more about this EYE. You say you're doing it right now during the summer?
We are. Every year we host 4 to 5 summer camps, engineering summer camps, and the summer camps are very tedious, but they really do get the students involved in a project. We're very active all week. It includes field trips, it includes guest speakers. There's always a mathematical component with many different activities each day. Then, of course, the engineering component to that is also really wrapped within the science, because they're trying to use their knowledge of science and their research to create this engineering project.
Right.
And that also always is the end product, a little bit like project-based learning. There's always an end product that they present or that they show, and that end product helps them gauge their success and to learn that sometimes successes and failures go hand in hand. It's not always success on every level. Sometimes you're only successful on one level, but you don't give up. You continue to improve it until you get it to where you want it to be.
Okay. So students who come to these EYE camps, are they of all ages, or are they just elementary age?
They are 4th and 5th graders from the 26 Mobile County Public Schools that we have EYE clubs in.
Okay.
And those EYE clubs kids are eligible for the EYE camps. So it can be kids from any of the 26 schools that we service. So
Okay.
it brings a lot of kids in, a lot of new ways of thinking, a lot of experiences. And so we always find that the kids really get together, and you never know how they're going to react when they come from so many different
Right.
places. But the STEM is so engaging that the kids come together and they work together, and they really do a great job at achieving those goals at the end.
So do you see a lot of students exceeding your expectations at these camps? I can imagine you probably do.
Always, always. And sometimes it's the students at the beginning of the week. You're thinking, okay, I hope that they can get there, and by the end of the week you're just beaming with a smile, because they have gone the whole distance and they've really gotten the point of what that STEM curriculum was teaching, which is you never give up on a project. You just continue with it and continue with it, and there's always a success somewhere down the line if you continue trying.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you'd want to talk about project-based learning or these programs that you're involved with?
Well, as far as project-based learning, all of the gifted education teachers use project-based learning, and many of the schools have gone to some type of project-based learning, but at different levels of that. I know for the school that I work for, which is Kate Shepherd, we are involved in some project-based learning, but this year we are going to become a STEM pilot school for Mobile County Public
that's
Schools.
awesome.
So we will have a little bit of project-based learning going on, and we will be a STEM pilot school. So we've got a lot of planning going on during the summer, researching a lot of materials and lessons, and we've got the science supervisors helping us from central office and science teachers from middle school. It really has become this pet project that the system really wanted us to take on, and we are so happy to take it on because we've seen the results of STEM curriculum and project-based learning, that they are both very effective with students.
Right. That's awesome. Real quick, how do you include technology in your project-based learning in all these subjects, all these areas?
Great question. In project-based learning, the students always have research components. We are in the lab. They also, at our school, have bring your own device, where the students can actually bring an iPad or
Are these provided to them by the schools, or do they have to, do they just bring them in if they have them?
They bring them in if they have them, and then we have some at the school.
Okay.
So if they're working and it's their turn to do research and we can't get into the lab, we'll just take the devices and pass them around, so
Okay.
everybody gets that equal opportunity.
Right.
We also have smart boards
Mhm.
that we use on a regular basis. We have different types of computing programs, different types of research programs. Even in the summer camps, we have different types of technology that we use. And, you know, for students to learn that technology doesn't just mean it's a computer or it's a laptop or it's an iPad. There are many types of technology
Right.
that you can incorporate into that. But yes, technology is the wave of the future. Our students
Absolutely.
know so much more about technology than we do. You know,
Mhm.
the electric typewriter was a big thing when I was in high school, and technology has gone so far.
Yes.
And so it's not that, you know, we need to keep up with the times. We need to keep up with them and
Mhm.
teach them how to function in their own world. So we've got to keep up with that technology. It's very important.
Yes, it is. Okay, well, this has been Miss Laniese Howard talking about project-based learning and her STEM program and her EYE camp and enlightening us on so many different things. So thank you for watching.
Thank you.